And the weeks just keep on coming, and so do we. Coming off the second major of the season, a shout-out to Xander Schauffele getting the proverbial monkey off his back, getting his first major with a birdie on the 72nd hole to beat Bryson DeChambeau by one shot. Welcome into DTL Golf. We are live every single Tuesday at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. I'm your host, the Coach, and if you're watching on demand, we love all of you as well. Now, this week, the Charles Schwab Challenge. PGA Tour going back to Texas in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Number one, Scotty Scheffler is in the field. We'll discuss him. Jordan Spieth, he's loved playing this event. He's a past winner. He is in the field, as well as plenty of other guys that we are going to talk about. So without further ado, we have a little amendment to the best golf crew in the business. Look who it is for the very first time. You know him in the universe. He's our numbers guy, Rafael Esparza. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you, Coach. And just like the X-Men did, winning his first championship, I get to bust my cherry and go on a golf show today. Yeah.
I hope I never hear that line ever again. All right, RD, let me come over to you and not focus on that. Now, you're going to be blown away by how incredibly smart our numbers guy is. But you still have me, the average intelligence guy. Good afternoon, sir.
My audience, the average to below average intelligence. The high intelligence people can see right through me. I can't pull my scam. My Jedi mind tricks don't work. It's guys like you, Coach, that are enamored with me.
I can't get enough of Robert Damron. All right, if you are brand new to DTL Golfing every single week, our audience just gets a little bit bigger, which is nice. This is, 3 months in? By the way, Fast Eddie Fernandes, member of the crew, he is in the chat. He's actually at an airport right now. So if you have any questions for him, put them into the chat. He will answer them for you in real time. I encourage you also, please hit that like button. It really helps the show grow. So you know where we got to start. The man just had a baby, if you hadn't heard. The man just got arrested. And today there was some type of arraignment or the video online. And RD, I'm going to start with you because, the lawyers have been an absolute joke in this entire process of Scotty Scheffler getting arrested. But for everybody who had Scheffler to win, I believe that's the biggest reason he had an off day on Saturday and didn't compete for the win. What did you make of that entire scenario and the fact he's playing this week? He's not taking the week off.
Now, golf-wise, there's a lot to unravel here, but golf-wise, I agree with you. I think that he came back from the actual arrest and shot 66 kind of in a daze. Like, he didn't know what happened, what hit him. He's still riding the streak of really hot golf. But then by Saturday, and I don't want to say it's because he didn't have his normal caddy. That's a convenient thing to say, I guess, but that's probably not the case. It's just the gravity and everything hit him, and he probably didn't sleep a single wink the night before. And you know, you would love to be putting your energy into, one, the golf tournament, two, FaceTiming your brand new baby boy back at home. But no, you got to deal with some crazy arrest. And I almost feel bad for whoever's making the decisions, whether it's the mayor or the district attorney or whoever of Louisville there, because you're in a rock and a hard place. If you just say, okay, misunderstanding, we push it away. Half the people are saying, hey, you're just letting him off for no reason because he's the best player in the world, blah, blah, blah. And if you kind of try to come down on him, the other half of people, they're going to say, hey, this is ludicrous. He didn't really do anything wrong. He didn't do anything everybody else didn't do. And it's pretty much bad news all around. Hopefully in a week, 2 weeks, it just kind of fades away. They slowly, quietly drop the charges and everything just stops being talked about.
I kind of think that's where it's going to go. Every single player had his back. Will Zalatoris, in fact, he told a story about how they had to park and walk a mile. And he said, I've been complaining about this the entire week. And he goes, and this is what I knew could happen, and it did. So no players are upset with Scotty Scheffler. I think it's ridiculous they haven't had the charges dropped yet, Rafael. But from a betting perspective, the sports books, they don't care. He has another Tiger-type number this week. Depending on the book, it's plus 250. I haven't seen anything over plus 300. So they, I guess, think that he's going to be just fine coming out on Thursday.
He should, but Well, let's take a step backwards. When he got arrested, I'm looking at a sportsbook point of view where everyone wanted their refunds. He ain't coming. He's not going to play this tournament anymore. I want a refund. Then he does play and he doesn't win. Can I still get my refund? Because he would have won if he didn't get arrested. So I'm looking at that point of view where just because some books do refunds on the craziest things in all sports, I was actually kind of laughing on that one. But for this week, yeah, he's the heavy favorite. But I'm going to tell you why he doesn't win this weekend because he is the heavy favorite. This course, Charles Schwab Challenge, does not do well with favorites. We'll put it that way. But I'm excited to see how he plays because now he's had some time off. You said all the golfers back to him. The charges will be dropped. I can't wait to watch the 30 for 30 because I want to see his exercise in jail when he was loosening up. Can't wait to see that video. But it should be interesting. Yeah, I would be shocked if those charges are not dropped by the weekend.
I love that word, shocked. And leave it to Scotty Scheffler to make friends with the police officers. And let's take it a step further. We've all been to those PGA Tour events, and RD, most of the time, the logistics suck. And for players to try to get into where they need to go, and then the fans over there, that's why when we do PGA Tour Live, people say to me all the time, don't you wish you were on site at the event instead of at a compound in Florida? No. We're good in Florida. I don't want to fight that. But now we come to this week, and you have another player who hasn't won in a minute. He refuses to get surgery on his wrist, but he's not playing good golf. Last week, he was kind of, he made the cut, but I'm talking about Jordan Spieth. He missed the cut a year ago. Prior to that, 7 out of 8 straight, I believe top 10 is what my notes say. But this is basically his home course. -8 was winner score last year. So it's not like we're going to have, -20 or higher. What do you make of Spieth also deciding to play this week?
I mean, of course he was going to decide to play this week. It's not far from home in Fort Worth. He's in Dallas, and he's got such a great track record here. But it's a different golf course. Last year, as soon as they left, as soon as the last player was Grillo in a playoff finished, the course got torn up. Matter of fact, they had equipment on the course while the playoff was going on holes what they knew weren't being used, tearing it up. So we're going to see a new golf course, and we're going to see if Spieth's old notes on the putts and his feels on the putts are going to, work on these greens that are different than the old ones. Or do you take all your old notes and throw them away? But every time I watch Jordan, I will have, and I've been on course with him quite a few times, 4 times in the last couple of weeks. But I'll have moments where I'm like, wow, just awestruck. And then moments where I say, is he going to ever be an elite player again? Because he can, his good is so good and his bad is so non-professional almost.
Yeah.
And, mentally, is he as strong and tough as he was? Is he enjoying it? Or is he kind of, it's been a job for a long time. It's been a grind for a long time. I don't enjoy it the way I used to. And I'm kind of complaining more happens to old golfers. We get a little sour in our old age, but
no.
I'm telling you, I'm not joking, but you got to have that good attitude to go out and beat all the best players in the world. And he hasn't been showing it.
I have a tendency to believe that the injury is worse than what we think it is. That if this was, say, September or October, he'd be getting the surgery because he'd probably be able to sit out for 4 or 6 months and come back in February. But the fact, Raphael, that it's in the middle of major season, it's May. It's almost like he doesn't want to miss out. He had a chance at the Grand Slam again last week. Never was even a chance. From a sportsbook's perspective, when you talk about a course that's been completely renovated, it's -8, but then you got the top players. How do the sportsbook look at all of these different issues that are going on this week, including, the stars that are showing up?
Well, when it comes to golf betting, you have 2 types of betting. You don't have the sharps versus the public. You have the golfers versus the public. Then sometimes the sharps will come in. So you have almost like 3 types of betting. This one, I'm totally blown away that he's around 20 to 1 to win it all. He should be around 25 to 30 to even 35 to 1 to win it. Because you said it, his wrist is not 100%. And the stuff I was reading, he should have this because I don't know. I'm not a golfer, but if your wrist hurts or you need something, I think you need to use your wrist when you're hitting stuff. So I'm totally blown away on that one. But for betting purposes, I don't understand why the money continues to come in. I know he's won here before, but you guys said it. This is a totally different course. This is a totally different greens. Throw away your old notes, Jordan, because those notes you have probably ain't going to work this weekend. So Totally blown away with the amount of money that came in right when these odds came. He's 20 to 1 to win it all. No way.
I think that a lot of people are making the same mistake I made with Tiger Woods at the Masters, is their heart tells them, if I bet on them, then maybe they'll play well. And we do that all the time, which is why golf betting has become so popular with sports books, because a lot of people bet on the wrong players, like a Jordan Spieth, who is mispriced. So be careful, watch this show, and understand the guys that are not mispriced. Now, there's some other stars that are playing this week, including Colin Morikawa coming up fourth place finish at the PGA. Emiliano Grillo is your defending champion this week as well. So, gentlemen, we got 5 different categories that we got to get to, and it's a rare week, but your boy is going to play right along. I'm throwing out a few picks this week that we can catch with the coach.
Stick your neck out
Eddie
there.
doesn't want to show up. Hey, I can get crazy too, RD. I can get crazy too.
Let's get nuts.
Let's get nuts. First round leader is the first category. And RD, I'm going to let you start us off. I'm looking at my notes, and I have 2 players that are north of plus 5,000, but they are fantastic iron players. You're going to need that here. Talk to me.
So that is where we are going. This is a very firm golf course. It's brand new golf course, and that means firm greens. My little birds on the site have already texted me back and said, yes, it is a really hard and fast course. So normally on these first round leaders, my formula is to go with the great putter, somebody that just runs the table one day and gets off to a hot start. I kind of threw that out the window on this one. Tom Hoge is one of the best iron players on the PGA Tour. As a matter of fact, I think he's second strokes gained. He's 17th this season in scoring average. So he's been quietly playing very nice golf. But most importantly, iron play is going to be king at the hardest greens and on a very hard golf course. So you've got to be so pinpoint precise with your irons, and you can't get away with anything. They got to be coming in high and cutting. So I like Tom Hoge at plus 5,500. And then another guy that's a hot hand right now. He's finished second. He's finished 8th. He's finished 4th in his last 5 tournaments. He's broken par 6 of his last 7 opening rounds. He's playing great. And, I didn't say you could pick dog putters. Thomas Dietrich's a great putter. And he also at plus 5,500. I got a nice feeling about both of these guys at that number, especially.
Yeah, I love it. He's one of the rare players. He's come over from the DP World Tour, got his tour card, decided to stay here for several months, and I think he's really starting to feel comfortable now, which is hard to do when you come from another country to play in the United States. All right, those of you out there in the DTL universe, and Raphael, and I apologize, I got to stop and handle some business, but you can thank DG and Better Days Ahead for driving the line. Is going to get cut in half. You guys want to make jokes? DG says it's going to be quiet this week at 10 a.m. because I'll be on PGA Tour Live. Better Days Ahead says, yeah, and the shows will be shorter too. Okay, I can completely take all the personality out of the shows whatsoever. We've got shows that are called that. I'm not going to say the names of them, but we do. So Better Days Ahead, you now are going to be blamed for the show completely changing starting tomorrow. It's only going to be about 20 to 25 minutes. So everybody in the chat that's watching this live or on demand, thank DG and thank Better Days Ahead. I got better things to do with my time. The people complain about the length of the show. So, Raphael, now that I've handled that, let me come over to you, because there are 2 players that play really hard golf courses really, really well, and you've picked both of them to be at the lead after day 1. You're up.
Yeah, I actually did choose that way just because, first of all, Max Homa, 35 to 1. That was when I sent in the email late last night as my plays. Now he's close around 30 to 1. So I don't know if maybe AI stole my cheat sheet and maybe bet that this morning, but I would still grab the 33 to 1 and 30 to 1. I like the way Homa shot. His first round, he shot a 68 at the PGA, a 69 at Wells Fargo. So I think he starts off hot. Would not be shocking me if he can putt really well in the first round. This is first round only. Hopefully the rain stays away in the first round. It's supposed to get some rain Thursday and Friday. I'm hoping it stays away. So I like Max Homa at that price. Get a 35 to 1. There's 33 to 1 over at BetMGM. Harris English, 45 to 1. I thought this was a mistake. Now it's 40 to 1. But when I first saw 45 to 1, I actually double-clicked, refreshed my screen. It wasn't. A little bit shocked on this one. Last year, he shot a 65 in the first round, so I'm hoping he can do the same this one. So, again, make sure when you look at these first rounds, shop around, because you can get $5 or I'll say $5 difference a $5 difference at one shop to another shop. That's a big difference, especially when it comes to golf betting, and especially at this event right here. We're coming off the PGA Championship. Now we're at the Charles Schwab. This is like WrestleMania coming from Backlash. The bettors are not going to bet this as much. So the odds makers not going to be 100% focused on this one. So you might be able to get a better line because the odds makers might be sleeping at the wheel because they're looking at Indy 500, playoffs, NASCAR, Formula One this weekend. It's a holiday weekend. So we might be able to get some good prices on golf bettors because the odds makers might be sleeping, knowing that, hey, we had PGA Championship. We don't care about Charles Schwab. We can get some really, really, really good prices this weekend.
Absolutely great advice right there. You can't watch everything. You can't set every single price. So absolutely love it. Harris English, by the way, the harder the golf course, the better he plays. He's just one dude. He just doesn't like those minus 25 tournaments. He's a great pick for this week. Now, I got one play, and this is more of a gut play. We saw it last week at the PGA Championship. When my guy gets hot, he just makes birdie after birdie after birdie. Tony Finau and a plus 4,000. It's basically because he hasn't done a whole lot this year in 2024. But he had a great first round last week, and I think he can come out on Thursday and have another great round of plus 4,000. It's worth a little bit of a sprinkle. Oh, no, better days ahead. Do not backtrack now. Shorter shows means more time to take in your incredible calls in the course, Coach. Come on now. Oh, no. No. You can't walk backwards after you take a shot at me and my hosting abilities. Done. Now, next level hosting is when you can pivot and bring the voice down. Bring the hangry down just a little bit. RD, I'm fasting right now. I'm intermittent fasting, so I'm a little bit.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, he's hangry. He's hangry right now. Oh,
he is angry.
An angry coach is a bad coach.
An angry coach is a bad coach. You're right. However, hitting head-to-head matchups is what we simply do. It makes me very, very happy. So, RD, let me come over to you because you have, let me count them, 3 different plays, and I love all 3 guys that you are fading. To me, it's more about them than the guys you're betting on, but I love to hear your explanations.
You like the guys I don't like? I mean, geez, I'm coming, Elizabeth.
No. I love that you're fading them. I love that you're picking against them.
I thought you said
I like it.
Wowzers. See, because I thought these were pretty easy. They jumped off the screen at me pretty quickly, starting with the very first one, Siwoo Kim over Brian Harman. No disrespect to Brian Harman. The guy is an unbelievable player and obviously open champ. Which you go, oh, that's firmness over there. It's a lot different golf over there, trust me, than it is here. Siwoo Kim is 11th in approach. He's 5th tee to green, so he hits it incredible. He's got 3 top 20s in a row going into the PGA. He was playing very nicely before the PGA. And Harman, with that lower ball flight, is just not going to fit at this golf course. And it just is not going to work for him, I don't think. I really, really like Siwoo Kim. I've watched him play enough. We just don't hear about him enough. Ultra talent, tee to green. Doesn't like putting too much. Don't care this week. We're going ball striking over putting this week, which is also leads into my second bet, Tom Hoge. We just talked about him a little bit ago. One of the best iron players, maybe the best iron player not named Scotty Scheffler, who's off in his own stratosphere as far as that goes. Over a very good putter, but not an extreme ball striker in Christian Bezuidenhout. I've bet on Bezuidenhout quite a bit this year. I've liked him at a lot of different things, but Tom Hoge, he played nice, solid golf at the PGA. He's exceptional. He's not good. He's exceptional with his irons. Like I said, he is second in approach this year and quietly having a great year. Like, who knows what Tom Hoge's done this year, but he's 21st in FedEx Cup points. That is solid golfing right there. And then another really easy one because we're going power over putter at Colonial this week because of that brand new spanking firm mass golf course. Minwoo Lee, who is a skinny kid with a skinny mustache, but can flat beat the hell out of it. And he is over putter extraordinaire, but not as long, Denny McCarthy. So again, these 3 bets, they just jumped off the screen at me. I liked them all immediately based on my path of power over putter.
Isn't it funny how, because this happens to me from time to time, when you have weeks where they literally jump off the page and it takes you about 5 minutes, and that's what it feels like this week. I agree with you 100%. 100%. RD, me and you're going to teach a couple people in the chat a lesson here in a second. But Raphael, let me come to you first because you got 2 players and you teased this morning on the morning show. But the man that wears orange on Sunday, if he makes it that far, is Ricky Fowler. Explain yourself. Let's start there.
Well, I went fade over putter and power on this one. I'll go with the first one. I'll leave that one. Justin Rose versus Daniel Berger. I called one of my good golf guys over in Vegas. You follow him on X Golf Odds. Phenomenal handicap guy that does golf numbers up in Vegas. He told me this number should have been about minus 160. Justin Rose over Daniel Berger. So I got that minus 125. I logged on right before we jumped on the show. It's now minus 135, minus 140. So I still think there's value on this. I'm just fading Daniel Berger. His last 11 events, he's missed the cut 5 times. That's Ricky Fowler numbers, but we'll explain that later. But I'm looking at Justin Rose over Daniel Berger. I'll lay to minus 125. And then I know, Little Ricky. I'm going with Little Ricky with that plus 3 nickels on this one. But here's why. I have no faith in JT. I'd rather play Justin Timberlake over Ricky Fowler than JT Punster right now. He better put his suit and tie on because I just don't like JT's game right now. I almost wanted to play Chris Kick over versus JT in this one. Only one shot had this one, but I'm going to take the plus money with Ricky Fowler. I know he's having a hard time out there. This course might beat him up, but I want nothing to do with JT Punson. Give me the plus 3 nickels on this one. And Ricky, bring it home for me, Little Ricky.
Big Iris says, man, I love the Raphael edition. Who do you think picked him? Picked him to join the golf crew, the DTL golf crew. Because sometimes there's people out there in the universe that need to be taught a lesson. RD, there's some people questioning my Max Homa over Colin Morikawa pick. And Fast Eddie, who's sitting in an airport somewhere in Connecticut, says he's going to be Xander-esque this weekend, hoisting the trophy on Sunday. Now, RD, did Colin Morikawa play in the last group last Sunday?
Yes, to the best of my memory.
Did he completely lay an egg as Xander was playing 5 or 6 under par on Sunday?
He left a 3-coiled steamer out on the golf course. Yes, laid an egg.
He did. Did he not, after the event, complain that the crowd was actively rooting against him, but at the end of the day, he just doesn't care? Did he say that?
Now that I didn't hear. I'll take your word for that one. That doesn't sound.
Oh, he did.
Wow.
That
doesn't sound Morikawa-like.
Look it up. He did. He goes, I don't care. He said they wanted Xander to win because he hadn't won one yet. And he goes, that's all right. End of the day, I don't care. This is a man that right now is pissed off. RD, how good of golf do you play when you're actually pissed off?
Oh, not. It's tough. You got to lay back, relax, be smooth like Bob Marley. That's when it comes to you.
Thank you. There will be no smooth Colin Morikawa this week. He will play bitter golf. He had a chance to win his 3rd major, couldn't get the job done. For those of you sitting on the sidelines, Big Cheesy, Fast Eddie, Big Irish, whoever else is over there, understand this. Max Homa, top 10 last week. This man is not just about Morikawa. It's about Max Homa. And it doesn't matter the week. It doesn't matter if it's a major. This man shows up every single week. I love Max Homa over Colin Morikawa. And next week, just because of all of you naysayers, all of you haters in the chat, I'm going to be relentless when I win this head-to-head. Relentless. All right, producer, man, I got that off my chest. What are my other 2 plays as I look at it right now? Austin Eckroat over Akshay Bhatia. You talk about jumping off the page, RD. My goodness. Eckroat recently won in the last 2 months. Last year, he played good at this event, at T16. Bhatia shot a +4 on this, newly renovated golf course. I think Bhatia's starting to get tired. He's lost about 20 pounds in the hot heat the last 2 months, and he can't afford to lose any weight. He's too skinny. This one jumps off the page. And then Tom Kim making his debut. So he never saw the other course. He never got to see what that was like. It's fresh, brand new. He lives in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. This is home for him. I like him over Taylor Moore, -110. He's really starting to play really good golf, having really good rounds. And this one at these numbers, my goodness, I'll take it. Max Homa plus money. Hashtag levels, gentlemen, especially to you, Fast Eddie and Big Cheesy. All right, now, our 3rd category. We call it finishing positions. This is where you dial your bets back just a little bit, because you can turn a T10 into a T20 into a miscut very, very quickly, especially on a course like this. So, RD, let me come over to you, because you have 2 guys that I absolutely love. And to get decent numbers, you decide to play top 10s instead of top 20s. Go ahead.
Yeah, I like this top 10 because these are two stud golfers, and this is not a signature event. It's not the strongest of fields, and you've got two big fish in a pond that's got a lot of smaller fish. I think you can go a little higher than the top 20. So both guys playing nice golf. Finau's not the top 10 machine he used to be, but he is playing solid golf. He is 5th in approach this season, which is, again, what we're looking at, those iron play, that great iron play out there. Top 10 to me is a no-brainer for him. And Harris English, there's a true story. I played with Harris English in a Korn Ferry event when he was an amateur, and I got done with that round of golf, and I go, damn it, I'm done. I got to retire. This kid wore me out, and it had like English class to go to an hour after we finished playing. I go, that is enough of this. He did finish top 20 in the PGA. And again, big, strong kid. I love both of these at 3-1 for top 10s.
None of us will ever be able to know what you just said, that when you're a professional golfer at the highest level, playing with somebody that you won't be able to compete with going forward. That's got to be a very humbling experience.
It's a kick in the butt, but it happens to all of us.
Every single person. By the way, we didn't even talk about Tiger Woods today, and I've never seen an event where he had less attention on him than last week. By the networks, by ESPN, they finally got it right. He was a non-factor, and he played awful. I don't know how much longer we're going to see him out there. I'll be honest with you. I'll go mine real quick, top 20. And I know the numbers aren't fantastic, but like we've talked about, it's top heavy. Max Homa, love him this week. Harris English, we all do. Austin Eckroat, I'm telling you, this dude right now from Oklahoma State is legit. And a plus 190, I can see all three of mine hitting very, very easily. Raphael, let me come over to you. Go ahead.
Love the Korn Ferry analogy, because you know who tried to make the Korn Ferry event last weekend? A guy named plays for the LA Lakers. He tried to to make an event. Austin Reeves. He was trying. Yeah, he tried to make an event. I think he shot a 70-something, 76. Didn't make 76. The cut, but I thought that was an interesting. When you said Korn Ferry event, that punched me in the face. I'm like, I forgot Austin Reeves tried to do that last week. So that was it. But I agree. Harris English, we all agree on that one. I had plus 160. Coach has plus 130. I set my plays in last night to help the producer man, because I love the producer man. Coach probably did his early. So it's plus 130. I would still grab the plus 130. It's outstanding value. That's one of the reasons why I picked the top 20 for Harris English. Last year, top 25s. Last year in this event, the top 12. So I think he can do better this year. So Harris English, love the value, plus 130 that Coach has, still an outstanding one. And Justin Rose, top 10, 5-1. I just thought the value was there. I thought it was going to be like around plus 450, even 4-1. So I thought value was there.
I absolutely love what we just did right there. Part of the reason we put the different numbers up there that Raphael just talked about, he did his last night at 11 o'clock. It was plus 160. I did mine after the morning show today around, I guess it was 11:30 a.m. Eastern time, and it was plus 130. That's how much numbers move when you're looking at handicapping, when money comes in from the public. So we really want to show what can happen. Go ahead, Raphael.
Yeah, and I said this earlier before, the Charles Schwab Classic, their limits are not even close to what we saw last year in the PGA Championship. So that 30-cent difference probably could have been maybe a one bet, maybe a $1,500 bet. And they're trying to recuperate and move it 30 cents, knowing that, hey, we might sleep on a wheel, miss a bet and stuff like that. They'll move numbers drastically. I hate bashing Charles Schwab events, but we're just coming off a PGA, so the limits are probably much lower on this event than on a PGA. So they'll move the numbers much heavily on 1 to 2 bets than they would if it was just a PGA event.
There you go. Boom, boom, boom. Hashtag knowledge is power. Hashtag it pays to watch live. Now, RD, we all know because, well, Big Cheesy loves to say it. I like to name drop, and I'll name drop from time to time. But we all know Fast Eddie. He's a next level name dropper. He'll go with the 6 degrees of separation name dropper. In fact, he said in the chat, my buddy is friends with Austin Reeves and said he is a stick and a great dude. He can play. So Eddie's not friends with him, but Eddie's buddy is friends with Austin Reeves, RD.
Yeah, Al Pacino told me one time name dropping is really something you shouldn't be doing. So I always try to follow Big Al's advice and say, I'm just not doing it. I mean, it just looks bad on you. I'm telling you, he was right.
Oh, I'm gonna log off. That's the best line I've heard all day. I'm logging off. Pieces out, everybody.
We're dropping the mic. We'll put the rest of our picks on the Twitter or on the X or whatever the hell they're calling it these days. All right. Speaking of winner, Better Days Ahead says RD for the win. You're damn right. This is the hardest thing to do in all sports is to pick a winner. If you do one a season, that's doing pretty good. Now, Eddie will tell you he's done it 2 or 3 times, but he picks Scotty Scheffler every week. That's kind of cheating. That's the cheat code. So he does, Raphael. He brags about it all the time. He'll be a plus 300. All right. So, Raphael, I'm going to let you go first in this one because I love both of your plays. And I think this is one of those weeks where I think a big-time name steps up because they need big-time points, and your two guys do. Why do you think they'll get it done over 4 days this week?
Well, I like the Big Tony right here because he's great. I'll take the 28-1 on Tony Fernandes at 28-1. I'll take that one. And we've all been loving Harris English so far this whole episode. I'll take the 33-1. The reason why I chose these two and their numbers, Coach, I need some help here. Who won last year in this event?
Emiliano Grillo.
You know what his odds were to win it? 70-1. You know what? The 2022 champ Sam Burns, 35-1. 21 champ Jason Kovac, 50-1. 2020 Daniel Berger, 65-1. Are you catching this trend here? I don't hear any 10-1s, 5-1s, favorites ones. So the trend is favorites don't usually work well in this course. Favorites don't usually win after big events like the PGA Masters and all that. The next event, you usually see someone holding up a trophy. Like, who's that? So I would be very cautious on those favorites in these events. But like that, I love these two. I especially love Harris English. I think that number is phenomenal.
I do too, which is why I picked him as well. And Raphael, would 12-1 be considered a favorite? I would say yes, right?
In this event, yeah, just because we have a Tiger-esque name that's hogging the favorite and all the money on this one, I would say yes.
For the sake of my little joke here, just say yes. Say yes.
Yes, I'm sorry. Yes.
Okay, thank you. So 12-1, and I guess I didn't really feel a couple minutes ago when RD didn't really back me up with the whole Max Homa over Colin Morikawa pick. Now I know why. And there's a reason I don't look at these picks before the show. Now I know why. RD. Et tu, Brute, et tu.
The sea is parted. Goodness. You finally see where I'm coming from here. I agree with your whole Sunday analysis. I didn't like how he played on Sunday listen, he didn't like it either, but it just wasn't there. He had to try to push the gas and it was out of gas. There just nothing was happening. But I think when you do that, I know when you do that, you make a little mental switch. You play a little careful, or something, and you're like, okay, you're in this position. I haven't won in a while, and especially in a major. And I think it is easy to look back on Monday morning, Tuesday afternoon, and think back to Sunday and go, man, my thought process was a disaster. And that is an easy thing to fix. What did I say earlier? We're going iron play here. We're going power. He doesn't really power it, but he hits a very high, soft cut iron shot. 12-1. I liked those numbers. I only picked one guy this week because looking up and down, I did like Harris English, but I just looking up and down, I didn't have anything really jump out at me except Colin Morikawa. I think that's a great play. He did lose in a playoff here a few years ago, and just playing very nicely. Finished 4th at PGA, 3rd at Augusta. He's no barking dog. He's out there. He's playing good. That one round is not going to throw him off the rails.
This was the event in 2020, right when they came out of COVID. It was him and Daniel Berger in a playoff.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing how Daniel Berger, how far he dropped
60-1 Daniel Berger.
What was that?
Yeah.
60-1 he was, Daniel Berger, to win it. Yeah. And the year after that, Kevin Na was 55-1.
Oh,
you remember everything. You literally remember everything. That's amazing. That's exactly what happened. And then Morikawa went on to win when they did that double up at the Memorial Course with Workday. He ended up winning there right after COVID as well. But he will not this week. I can't believe all of you staring me in the face, knowing that you're just stabbing me in the back. Liddy, yeah, exactly. This is what's going to happen. You know, RD, that the producers of PGA Tour Live, they're going to give me the Morikawa group. You know that's going to happen. and I'm going to have to act excited every time he birdies on Thursday and Friday.
Like poison in your eyes. Just
I may have to send an email asking to move streams depending on what we get assigned. By the way, Liddy says, sorry I'm late. Got here just in time for Coach is Always Right. What's going on with all of you people today? Damn it. With the morning show, shots. I feel like I'm a man of the people, just leading this brand into the future. And all of you taking shots at me today? It hurts.
And Coach we trust.
That's right. I don't know.
I thought
it's
so.
like Rodney Dangerfield all of a sudden today. He's just getting no respect.
I was going to let DG host tomorrow because my flight's around 9:30 a.m. my time. I'm going to risk it. I'm going to host and then run to the airport just so he doesn't get to host the show.
Yeah.
There you go, DG. I take it right away. Snap it right away.
That's smart because Southern California never has bad traffic. So you should be fine getting to the airport.
Yeah, perfectly fine.
Yeah, that's actually
go to Disney instead.
All right, the final category today here on DTL Golf. And, man, it's been awesome to have our numbers guy, Raphael, on the show for the very first time, but will not be the last. This is kind of the category where we throw stuff that's north of plus 5,000, maybe some guys to watch, maybe ladder just a little bit, or kind of anything that doesn't fit into the other four categories. So, RD, as I come to you, man, I absolutely love the Justin Rose play. He's playing really good golf, and I think he's laser focused every week because of his age, and he understands he can't be giving these starts away. Start with him.
I fully agree with what you're saying because of his age, but he works very hard. He looked very young last week, actually. Putted very well. He was exuberant, enthusiastic. He felt comfortable up there with it. You know, he just couldn't play as well as Bryson and especially Xander, but he did hang right in there. Played well. He does love this golf course. He is a fantastic and always has been a fantastic iron player. I absolutely love this. Like I said, okay, it's a different course, but he did win here. The vibes still feel nice. When you walk in the locker room or you stand on that first tee and you see your name, it is a good feeling. So Justin Rose at plus 5,500. And we got to go with the high hard one, Coach. Luke List hits it high and he hits it hard. And at plus 9,000. Are you kidding me? Outside of his tie 2 at Genesis, he hasn't had a great year. But again, no one, and I mean no one, hits it harder and higher into these very firm greens. So at 90-1, we're not betting the car on these long shots. But if you want to have just a little fun there, I think that's a great value.
Just a little sprinkle, baby. Yeah, just a little sprinkle. You know what I'm talking about? I was there when he won over Will Zalatoris on a very difficult golf course called Torrey Pines. This is also a difficult golf course. I love the Luke List plus. I mean, even if you put $10 on it, it's still kind of a nice payday if you hit that long shot of plus 9,000. Now, I'm going to go next, and these are just guys to watch because last year at this event, they played pretty well. And do I think Michael Kim at plus 25,000? He hasn't played good. But what did Raphael just say about 5 minutes ago? This is the type of event where a non-name tends to rise up and win. So these are really huge numbers for a guy who's played pretty well here before. And Mark Hubbard not only played well last year at this event, but did we notice who was all over TV last week at the PGA Championship and also at the Zurich 2 weeks before that? This man is trending. And at plus 6,500, you may want to sprinkle a little bit, whether it's a top 5, whether it's a top 10, because Mark Hubbard is trending in the right direction. Now, Raphael, you agree with Robert on Justin Rose. Why?
Yeah, everything he said, and he played well last weekend, and he played well here before. He's won it before, I think tied 12th last year in this course. So, yeah, I thought the number was way, way too high for the ageless Brit. So I love this number, so I got one. And the guy that I think, Thomas Dietrich. I mean, I was reading this stuff on that stuff, and my wife walked in the room, and she's like, who's that on the screen? I'm like, some golfer from Belgium. Ooh, he's a hottie. She has to pick this guy. My wife thinks he's hot. She has to pick this. No. But this guy, or I should say this kid, not this guy, he was tied for 21st last year in this event. He knows this one. Granted, the greens are different, but I'll take the 60-1 on Thomas Dietrich. And make sure, I know I've been preaching about sportsbook etiquette in this one. These ones, yeah, sprinkle on it. But let's say Luke List is in the top 5 going into Saturday. You can start hedging off on that ticket if you have a plus 9,000 to 1. Get that $10 back, or try to make more money on it on a head-to-head matchup for it either Saturday or Sunday. We'll always make sure if you're going to sprinkle somebody on a big guy of I would say 55 or higher bet, try to see how he's doing for the rest of the event for like Saturday and Sunday. Try to get a head-to-head matchup. Try to see what he is for other events to try to get that money back, or try to boost your money on that one, because hedging your bet makes more money than going to bed. Going to bed $1 than going to bed at minus $1 is a lot difference.
That's what I'm talking about right here. That's what I'm talking about. Really, he adds so much. In fact, I would dare say that he adds more than Fast Eddie. RG, would you agree with that statement? He adds more to the show than Fast Eddie does.
Not in the speed off the ball speed department, but yeah, I can't throw Fast Eddie under the bus like that. I'll let you do it.
Okay, I will continue to do it.
But
he wrote in the chat, "Oh, Coach, do you need a tissue?" I would probably come back and say, Eddie, do you need a spot on the show? Because I believe you just got Wally Pitt, big boy. Hey, Raphael, where are you at 3 p.m. on Tuesdays half the time?
Wherever you tell me to be.
He says dead to me. So you even use my line against me.
But I like Fast Eddie. He does great work here. He does great work here. So I hope you don't get rid of him, because I love his analogy. First of all you guys do great analogy here. I learned so much the last 4 shows I've been watching with you guys. So I hate to see someone not lose their job.
I will say this, all kidding aside, I get so many texts from Raphael just randomly because he watches every single show that he does, because we tell you at home, if you want to be a really smart sports fan, you got to watch and you got to listen to guys that are smarter than you. That's just how I have put together my team. Everybody that's smarter than me. That's why I learn. That's why Raphael learns. That's why we're a crew together. That's why all of you are sitting on the sidelines talking trash to me while we're actually doing the work. And you know who I'm talking to. Oh, I've got some issues. I've got to take care of DG. I got to take care of Fast Eddie. And we need to have our closing comments, our final thoughts before we head into what's going to be an incredibly busy next month. We've got another signature event coming up. We've got a U.S. Open coming up. We have my favorite event, the Travelers, coming up before the end of June. So it's a very busy time. RD, let me start with you. Your final thoughts heading into the Charles Schwab Challenge this week.
Yeah, Charles Schwab Challenge has a lot to live up to. That was a heck of a PGA Championship we watched. Came down to the last hole. That's what you want to see in a golf tournament. You want to see a lot of swings and a lot of possibilities coming down the stretch. This can happen, and we saw a lot of it. I hope we don't get a snoozers here at Colonial. I'm excited to see what they did to the golf course. I'm also a little scared because I love Colonial. It's one of the best golf courses I've ever played in my life, and you can make it worse just as easily as you can make it better. So hopefully we see a very strong field and a strong finish on a strong golf course.
I certainly would love to see a finish like we saw last week, Raphael, where it comes down to the final hole and the final putt. Your final thoughts?
Yeah, I'm looking at an odds perspective on a weather perspective. We're supposed to get some type of chances of rain on Thursday and Friday, and Saturday and Sunday. It's going to feel like August out there. We're going to probably feels like 100 degrees with that humidity. It's going to be dog days. So we're going to see a lot of golfers maybe not playing well because they're maybe not used to heat already. We're still in May 21st, and we can be feeling like 100 already. So I'm going to be looking at the weather perspective more than anything, and how I look at head-to-head matchups for the second round, third round, fourth round, and stuff like that. Because weather can be very, very crucial. If that sun is beaten down and it's humid out there, we can see a lot of sweaty polos out there.
You're damn right. I will be connecting in Dallas-Fort Worth on Wednesday, so I'll fly over the golf course. I'll give you a drone take on the courses I fly over in my American Airlines Boeing 737. Damn, I hope it's not a Boeing 737.
Yeah, the max. You want the max.
We want the max one. All right, gentlemen, as always, we appreciate you, RD, Raphael, for stepping in. I'll see you guys, or I'll see you, Raphael, tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Eastern time. With all that being said, it's now time for all of you golf fans to go out there into the world. Pay it forward, be kind to one another, and understand we'll also, if we find plays we like, round by round, we'll have those on the morning show. And as the guys have said, I'll be on the call ESPN Plus Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I'll be on the featured groups. We have 2 different groups we focus on, and I'm quite sure, yes, Colin Morikawa will be in one of them. With all that being said, there's only one thing left to do, and I believe you all know what that is. You've got your marching orders. Let's take all of these Charles Schwab Challenge tickets straight to the pay window. My attacker, level. My man, RD. Our numbers guy, Raphael. Producer man, always behind the scenes, making the show look like $1 million. We grind for you so we can win with you. It's truly what we're all about every single week at 3 p.m. Eastern Time live on DTL Golf. Good luck.